Hey friends, happy Tuesday term day. Today we are going to talk about Tish inspections, also known as truth and sale of housing, how those are compared to other inspections and who does them and what they're for, all the good stuff. So I'm just gonna jump right in here. For starters, a Tish inspection is technically looked at as a disclosure. This is something that the seller does prior to putting a house on the market. And this is something that is included as a disclosure that is given to buyers at the time of putting it for sale. Not all cities require a Tish inspection. St. Paul and Minneapolis both do, and there are a few other cities in the surrounding Twin Cities area that also require them. So the whole purpose of this disclosure is that cities are trying to help to inform buyers of the state of homes before they're purchased. So I know a lot of agents would say that this is extremely helpful and useful for cases where maybe a buyer wants to make an offer and not have it contingent on inspection. However, I will have to disagree with that. When it comes to a Tish inspector, they're licensed and they're specifically looking for code violations. They're given a specific list of things to inspect and they're trying to make sure that everything's to code. So when you hire your own inspector, they are there to look for any issues that you might have as a homeowner. So they're looking for things not necessarily to code or not to code, but they're helping you find things that you may need to renegotiate your offer with, or maybe just help you notice things that you might need to keep in the back of your mind for future renovations or anything in between. So their job is really to work for you as the client and to really help you make an informed decision on your purchase. Whereas a Tish disclosure is literally looking for code violations. And yes, it'll definitely help inform you, but it's not going to go into the nitty-gritty of things that you maybe as a home buyer want to know before you purchase a house. A quick overview of the truth and sale of housing report versus you getting your inspection done is that there's a difference between the people who do them. So a Tish inspector is going to be an inspector, but not all inspectors are licensed as Tish inspectors. And that's because each city is looking for specific types of code. You have to be licensed per city as an inspector in order to inspect and do Tish inspections or disclosures in each location. Now, to be a home inspector in general, interestingly enough, in the state of Minnesota, there is no licensure required. And that's why I recommend that you definitely make sure that you're working with somebody reputable. There are certifications that can be done to be an inspector, but again, there is no license required. That's where making sure you're working with a reputable company is really important, and working with somebody you trust is really important. And then lastly, you may have already gathered, but a Tish inspection happens before you put an offer into a house. So you'll see the results of that as you're making your offer or before you make your offer, whereas a regular inspection is something that you would be doing after you've received an accepted offer. You'd be doing that during an inspection period if you have negotiated to have one. So I think that covers it for today's Tuesday term. If you have any questions, as always, please reach out. Otherwise, I will see you next time.